In the quiet hours before dawn, when the world clings to the remnants of holiday cheer, tragedy can strike without warning. On January 1, 2023, in a modest neighborhood in Athens, Alabama, a young mother's life ended in a hail of bullets in her own driveway. This wasn't a random act of violence or a stranger's rage. It was the culmination of a toxic relationship amplified by a criminal justice system that released a dangerous individual too soon. Today, we explore the case of Alexis Garth, a 26-year-old woman full of promise, and Kairouan Yarborough, the 20-year-old father of her youngest child, accused of her murder. Drawing from publicly available news reports, court filings, and open-source materials, this is a story of love gone wrong, systemic failures, and a family's unending quest for justice. As we delve into this tale, remember, these are real lives, shattered forever. If you're affected by domestic violence, resources are available. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Let's start at the beginning, with the woman at the center of it all. But before we do that, please like and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started. Alexis Garth was born on August 11, 1996, in Limestone County, Alabama. From all accounts in local news profiles, she grew up as a bright, energetic young girl who excelled in academics and athletics. Public school records and community remembrances paint a picture of someone who thrived in team sports, earning awards and building lifelong friendships. Those who knew her, as reported in interviews with outlets like WHNT and WAAY-TV, described her as approachable, kind-hearted, and deeply committed to her family. She had a way of making people feel seen and valued, a quality that would define her short life. By her mid-20s, Alexis had built a stable foundation despite the challenges of young adulthood. News reports highlight her role as a customer service manager at a local retail store, where she handled daily operations with professionalism. She was also pursuing higher education, enrolled in courses related to health sciences at a community college, aiming for a career that would allow her to help others. To supplement her income, she ran a small side business, demonstrating her entrepreneurial spirit. But above all, Alexis was a devoted mother. She had 2 young daughters, a preschooler from a previous relationship, and an infant born in 2022. Public tributes from her family emphasize how her children were her greatest joy and motivation. In 2022, Alexis achieved a significant milestone. She purchased her first home in Athens. This act of independence was celebrated in local media as a symbol of her hard work and determination. It was a place where she envisioned raising her family in safety and stability. Little did she know, that home would become the site of her final moments. Now, let's turn to the man accused of ending her life, Kairouan Yarborough. Born around 2002, Yarborough's early life is less documented in public sources, but court records from Limestone County reveal a troubling pattern of behavior starting in his teens. In March 2019, at just 16 years old, Yarborough was involved in a violent incident detailed in news archives. After a physical altercation with other teenagers where he came out on the losing end, he reportedly left the scene, obtained a firearm, and returned to open fire. 3 young people were injured. One suffered wounds to the abdomen and leg, another to the leg, and a third had clothing grazed by a bullet. This event, covered by local outlets like the News Courier, led to his arrest and conviction for first-degree assault in December 2019. Court documents show Yarborough received a suspended sentence of 36 months and 2 years of probation, a lenient outcome for such a serious crime, as noted in legal analyses from Alabama news sites. However, he repeatedly violated the terms of his probation, resulting in its revocation and incarceration in state prison. His original release date was set for May 2023, but public records indicate he was granted an early mandatory release on December 2, 2022, under Alabama's Good Time Credit system. This policy, which rewards inmates for good behavior and participation in programs, is designed to alleviate prison overcrowding, but has been criticized in cases like this for potentially endangering the public. Yarborough's social media presence, as referenced in investigative reports, often portrayed a tough image, posts involving firearms and displays of cash that suggested a desire to project strength or intimidation. These details emerged in news coverage following the 2023 incident, painting a picture of someone with a history of impulsive violence. Alexis and Yarborough's paths crossed in late 2021 when he was 19 and she was 25. Their relationship progressed quickly, leading to the birth of their daughter in early 2022. Public accounts from family members shared in interviews with stations like WAAF and AL.com suggest that initially things appeared positive. Yarborough moved into her home and they presented as a couple overcoming challenges. However, beneath the surface, tensions brewed. News reports and family statements indicate the relationship turned abusive. Alexis confided in loved ones about controlling behavior and threats. According to public interviews, Yarborough had allegedly warned that if she tried to leave, he would harm her and the children. Knowing his past violent actions, Alexis reportedly planned her exit carefully, prioritizing her daughter's safety while maintaining her job and home. But time was not on her side. Yarborough's early release from prison in December 2022 accelerated the crisis. The fateful night unfolded on December 31, 2022, extending into the early hours of January 1, 2023. Based on police reports and family accounts detailed in news articles from WHNT and the Decatur Daily, Alexis spent part of New Year's Eve with her mother and siblings. Later, Yarborough picked her up and took her home. That evening, a minor incident occurred when a family member realized they had left keys in Alexis's car. She met them to return the keys, a mundane act that would unknowingly be one of her last interactions with her sister. Back at the house on Oakdale Ridge Lane, an argument escalated. Phone calls to family members, as recounted in public statements, revealed Alexis in distress, with Yarborough audible in the background, armed and making threats. Her mother immediately called 911, reporting the danger and rushing to the scene. Athens Police Department records, cited in court filings, show officers were dispatched promptly. As police arrived around 4 a.m., Yarborough was in the driveway with a gun. Alexis and her daughters were present. In a matter of seconds, he fired 5 shots. Investigative details from the Limestone County Sheriff's Office and news sources indicate Alexis positioned herself to protect her children, taking the bullets that might have struck them. The 3-year-old hid under a vehicle, remaining unharmed physically, while the infant was also safe. Yarborough then placed the weapon down and surrendered without resistance. Alexis was transported to Huntsville Hospital, where she was pronounced dead from her injuries. The scene, as described in official statements, was chaotic, family arriving amid flashing lights, realizing the worst. Public remembrances highlight Alexis's final act as one of selfless love, shielding her girls at the cost of her own life. Yarborough was arrested on the spot and charged with capital murder. Under Alabama law, this elevated charge applies when the crime occurs in the presence of a child under 14, as documented in the indictment. A preliminary hearing on January 3, 2023, resulted in bond denial under Anaya's law, a statute named after a slain college student, allowing judges to hold certain violent offenders without bail. Court records from Limestone County confirm he has been held without bond since then. In June 2023, a grand jury indicted Yarborough, formalizing the capital murder charge. As of the latest public updates from 2023 news reports, no trial date has been set, and he remains in custody at the Limestone County Jail. Open source searches in 2026 show no recent resolutions, suggesting delays common in capital cases, potentially due to legal preparations, evidence review, or court backlogs. If convicted, Yarborough faces life without parole or the death penalty. The aftermath has been devastating for Alexis's family. Her mother and sister have spoken publicly, advocating for awareness of domestic violence and critiquing early release policies. In interviews with local media, they described Alexis as a vibrant, family-oriented person who didn't deserve such an end. Community vigils, reported by News 19, saw gatherings in purple and yellow, colors symbolizing domestic violence awareness, where balloons were released in her honor. Funds were established for her daughter's future, reflecting the community's support. This case underscores broader issues in the criminal justice system. Alabama's good time credit law, enacted to manage prison populations, has faced scrutiny in similar
incidents. Advocacy groups, as noted in reports from AL.com, argue for stricter reviews of violent offenders' releases. Yarborough's early freedom, just 30 days before the shooting, raises questions about risk assessment and victim protection. Comparatively, this echoes other domestic homicides where prior convictions were overlooked. For instance, cases like the 2021 murder of a woman in nearby Huntsville involved a partner with a violent history released prematurely. Nationally, statistics from the CDC showed domestic violence accounts for over 10% of homicides, with firearms involved in many. Alexis's story fits this pattern. A successful woman trapped in an abusive dynamic, her attempts to leave met with lethal force. Psychologically, experts cited in related news analyses explain how abusers like Yarborough escalate when control slips. The power dynamic, him dependent on her financially, as family statements suggest, fueled jealousy and rage. Alexis's planning to leave while protecting her children highlights the perilous separation phase where risks peak. 3 years on, in 2026, the family continues to seek justice. The daughters, now older, are being raised by relatives carrying the trauma of that night. Public records show no pleas entered by Yarborough, and the case lingers in pre-trial limbo. Community efforts, including awareness campaigns, keep Alexis's memory alive, urging reforms to prevent similar tragedies. In closing, Alexis Garth's life was one of resilience and love, cut short by violence and systemic oversights. Her story serves as a cautionary tale. Recognize the signs, support those in need, and demand better from the systems meant to protect us. Thank you for joining this exploration. If you have thoughts or similar cases, comment below. Subscribe for more deep dives into True Crime's Real Horror 101. Stay safe out there.